welcome to our program once again. And in our previous episode, we had the founder of Slum Code, who was Mr. Albert Nashon. And today, in our episode, we are privileged to be joined by a beneficiary of the same organization. She is Anne Mukaria. So maybe to begin our program, I'll give you the opportunity to introduce yourself to our viewers. We know who Anne is as we move on. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I'm an entrepreneur, CEO and founder of Mukaria Innovation Group. So Mukaria Innovation Group is majorly about creating jobs for the young people in areas that have not been tapped yet as job markets. And when I mean areas that are not tapped yet, I mean arts, music, acting, those things. And other areas like there are jobs online that people have not yet come to know about. So that's our focus, to go a different way to create jobs for the young people. And I'm also a key beneficiary of Slum Code. If it were not for Slum Code, I wouldn't even have realized, you know, that I could use my mind or my ideas and help myself create a job for myself and other people.
Talk about Slum Code. How did you end up doing Slum Code?
Actually, I was still in campus. I was still in Kenyatta University. It was in 2014.
And what were you pursuing by then?
Public health. So totally different from maybe what I'm doing currently. So I met Albert Nashon as the founder of now Slum Code. But then he was doing a youth. It's like he was speaking to young people in universities about opportunities that are out there that they can pursue meanwhile, in case a job does not come around. And I was very interested because I've always thought, you know, what if that job doesn't come as I expect? I need to know what else goes on outside. So we came to our university, that Kenyatta, and we were a group of 10 people by then, I remember. And he was talking to us about even marketing opportunities that were out there, which I happened to just pick up and start, I think, the next week. And that marketing program, we were doing it for Space Global, a company that trains in technology products. And it taught me so much about how technology can change the world, and also financial skills that I never had learned in class. So these financial skills opened up my thinking. I thought, you know, there is always a way. In case you don't have a job, or there's a challenge ahead of you, there's always another way. But if your mind is not thinking there is another way, you'll always be stuck, you'll always complain, you'll always blame people. And I didn't look at myself as that person who was going to blame people. Yeah, so.
Your organization then now.
Yes.
What does your organization deal with? You are a beneficiary by then, but right now you're owning your own company. What are you dealing with exactly?
Recruitment. I would say what I do mostly is connect people to jobs and opportunities that match their passion and their talent.
How do you go about it?
We have a site. We are building up actually a very strong website where we will be able to have people post what they need from us, and then we can respond with the opportunity.
From the corporate organizations, or?
No, we are, when we say the young people, like you find a young person wants someone who can like train them on music, it's piano, I want a job in marketing, I want a scholarship to US. The reason we came to doing that apparently is because we realized young people have diverse talents and skills, and sometimes you can just not narrow down all of them in a box. So we decided, as much as we have a platform whereby we give people online jobs in the area of web design and app development and writing, we still need to create a platform where people can tell us the need, and we can try our very best to meet their need. And through that, we have been really able to recruit, especially people in the area of marketing, waiters, in hospitality industry. So it's been a platform that has helped many young people would have not known their opportunities in hospitality to get the opportunity.
And how did you begin this organization?
Actually, it just came out of Slum Code. That's what I'll say. Because after, while I was in Slum Code, I've worked at different positions. I've worked as a personal assistant to the CEO, with Albert Nation, for a long time. So I went along so many events, networking events, meetings, organizing, planning for funding, planning for how we will manage our programs. And in the process, the need, the entrepreneur in me started coming out. I started realizing, oh, there's another problem we can fix. So there's another problem we can fix. And if you know the CEO of SlumCode, he's so passionate about letting young people go out there and keep changing the world. He's not so held on to doing it himself. It always tells us, pick the dream, whatever you can, and just run with it. So for me, I realized, having not been employed myself, my very key area was unemployment. I was going to find a way to fix unemployment. Yeah.
And there's someone somewhere who is so much interested in, you know, being an entrepreneur.
Yes.
What can you tell them in terms of, you know, having an idea and how to start? Where do they begin from? You as an entrepreneur personally have gone through, so you can give an advice to someone like that.
There's so many currently, so many agencies and programs for entrepreneurs. Even almost every university and college right now has a hub for incubation. They have a department for innovation and entrepreneurship. There's a unit in school for entrepreneurship skills. So there's so much information around entrepreneurs. You can find it in the next hub in your school, in the website. Of course, definitely in well set up organizations like SlumCode, you can always, if you walk in our doors today and say, I have an idea, we'll sit down with you, you know, listen to your idea, see if it's valid, help you with the resources, help you with the connections. Because as an entrepreneur, the key things are you have either the idea is valid, you have the right people, you have the right platform, you test it in the market to see if it works. So best thing is connect yourself to a resource with the people who are already entrepreneurs that will grow you faster. Yes. Okay.
And then maybe if you can tell us how big or for how long has the organization been?
Say now an year.
How big is it?
Yes. Really, it's big. It's growing very fast because of the nature of the people we deal with who are unemployed, who are very many. So in a week, we can deal with them with around 20 people, 20 young people who are unemployed. So we can count our numbers to growing from 1,000 last year to going to 2,000 every other month, growing because there's so many people are unemployed. So that's probably in terms of the people we serve, that's how big we are. Our office is at 14 Riverside, 6B, Suite 6. So if you came in there, you'll have more information. But we are branching internationally because the jobs we get online to give to people come from UK and US. So yeah, we are broadening into an international company. Yes.
What's your comment about having somebody? Did you have a mentor first of all?
Yes, I have several mentors.
And what's the importance of having a mentor when it comes to entrepreneurship?
A mentor has been where you want to go. They have done it probably longer than anyone, you know, than you yourself. So having a mentor puts perspective in whatever you want to do. And having a mentor gives you realistic comments or feedback. As an entrepreneur, the most important thing is getting feedback for your idea, whether it's right, whether it's serving a need or not. And doing it all alone without someone who has been there is hard. So I have had mentors, Albert Nation. I've had mentors, leaders and other CEOs from different organizations. I couldn't mention, the list is so big, but yeah, it's important.
Yes. Let's now go for a short break, and when you're back, we're going to discuss much more on the importance of having a mentor. And Anne, she's going to continue telling us how her journey has been as an entrepreneur. So don't go far.
I appreciate you. If you not give me no go take go, baby girl, let's relate. Tunde kula pesa, 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 pesa. Tunde kula pesa, 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 pesa. You boy, kind of way, baby, wine for me, in the kind of way, wine for me, baby, wine for me. You got me feeling some kind of way. Terra, oh terra, fan ho gaya, terra hoye re jabra fan ho gaya. Oh tujhe dekh ke hi dil mein dhड़कन हो गया. मैं तुझको चुराया है, पाया है ये जहां. तुझको चुराया है, पाया है ये जहां. तुझे इतनी भी खबर है कि तेरा हीरो इधर है, तेरा ध्यान किधर है, ये तेरा हीरो इधर है, तेरा ध्यान किधर है, ये तेरा हीरो इधर है.
This is your show. We talk about career planning and development.
People worship entrepreneurship. You look at entrepreneurs, you see them driving good cars, but it's not as easy as that.
It's very prudent not to postpone your dreams. If you believe in something, go for it.
They say 90% of opportunities happen because of just showing up. Just showing up, period. If it's a tender that you're looking for, just show up, yes?
There are millions of ideas out there. The ones that do and make an effort with the little resource that you have, with the empty pockets that you have. What can you do?
Welcome back. So, Anne,
Yes.
we were talking about having a mentor.
Yeah.
Probably if we can continue, you tell us the importance of having someone who is ahead of you.
A mentor inspires you
Okay.
and helps you when you find roadblocks and you feel like you need to go back or quit.
Okay.
Because when you have a mentor, for example, who has started an organization that has been stable lasting 10 years,
Yeah.
and you're just in business for 1 or 2 years,
Yeah.
they probably know a lot that you don't know. So I've always found a mentor is someone who holds your hand
Yeah.
and tells you, you can jump on the other side. It's not that bad. A mentor also has connections and networks of people. Like when I came to SlamCon, I remember my first time, and we did several meetings. I was able to connect to so many organizations, from Simbacom to Safaricom people who never meet on my own, because I wouldn't have the mandate to work today in Safaricom and start talking about my things.
Yeah.
But through a mentor, you meet people who now keep growing your dream. So for me, mentors are everything.
Oh, okay.
And the process to getting a mentor is actually just being passionate, getting attached to a group of other young people or an organization that deals with entrepreneurship and innovation, and you are starting.
Okay.
Yes.
Fine. And maybe you can tell us how your journey has been as an entrepreneur, young entrepreneur for that matter.
Oh yeah, that's a tough one, because
Yeah.
it's been as well very tough.
Really?
Very tough.
Okay.
Entrepreneurship is not, let's say, a quick fix to not having a job. It's not something you're doing meanwhile as you get something else to do. Entrepreneurship, I would say, in the right ones of the Bible, is a calling, because the persistence and the energy and what it takes to go through that journey is a lot. Most people just quit on the first days. Why? Because you're doing something most times without the resources available.
Okay.
You have a dream, you have an idea, you have a way to change the society, will work. But by the time it takes people to get oriented to your idea, you will have not slept enough times calling people. You will have probably also cried enough times for the reasons of, what am I doing? What am I doing with myself?
Okay.
Or sometimes the pressure of people asking you, just get a job, which is not bad. But you know, not everyone wouldn't tell a priest to quit today to go and do some other work. So when you find that entrepreneurship is clearly aligned to your passion, it's not something you quit. But entrepreneurship builds you up, builds your stamina, it builds your confidence and communication skills. It also grows you so fast because you learn to be rejected enough times to also accept a yes. You appreciate small beginnings because today you may have one client, tomorrow you may have none. But in the next 1 year, you'll be surprised, 10 or 20 may be walking in every day, but it won't start with 10, it will start with 1. Also, entrepreneurs are people who look at new things that the society has not done. So you can imagine when Elon Musk, someone we really appreciate, started a program to go to the space called SpaceX, probably no one trusted these space machines. So it takes time for people to get to accept, and that also can bring emotional. But now, this is the good news about entrepreneurship. You get to change people's life. You get to make enough and big money because we look at money in terms of millions and dollars. And with this money, you can change the entire society. You can see how much Facebook has been able to do for the world. That's an entrepreneur. You can see what Google has done for the world. That's an entrepreneur. So for sure, without people taking the journey of entrepreneurship, there will be less change in society. That's what I would say. So as a young entrepreneur, it's been fun. It's been tough, but it's been worth it all the time.
Fine.
Yes.
What about the issue of capital?
Capital.
Yeah, does it require somebody to have this huge amount of money to become an entrepreneur?
No.
Yes, tell us from your experience now.
That's a myth. In some instances, you'll see that capital is needed, but really what you need most as an entrepreneur is creativity. For example, let me say how I started. I started without being able to market my products, which is, I want to get you a job, I want to be a consultant in your company to build up innovative market strategies or do an innovative campaign. So it's not easy being a young entrepreneur to be noticed in a market of people with almost the same sort of thing. But I was able to use what I had, which is social media. And have been able to use social media to talk about the change in talent, the way we look at talent, the way we look at jobs. And with time, not even with time, it took me a few months. I was getting clients all over. Can you consult for me? Can you get me a job? Can you place me somewhere? You know, so using what you have first. So using social media, which probably costed me bundles of 100 and 200, I was able to start making profits every month of 5,000. At that when I was starting to 10,000, and now we're increasing that direction. And so all I can say is be creative. Funding is important, but funding comes after you have also done some work. So I look out for funding now because I know what I've done. I can prove that the idea I've started with, can work. So if I come to maybe today and ask Safaricom, I have 10,000 or I have 2,000 clients, and they generate this amount of money, which is 100,000 per month. Can you guys support me for the next 3 months to get more of 5 to 6? 6,000, 5,000 clients at just a cost of maybe another 100,000. They are willing to give you because they can see what you have already done. So if you want capital, you really have to do something fast.
We're sure you had some challenges as well.
Yes.
Maybe you can share with us.
I think it's the first challenge is not being able to rhyme with my peers. Maybe in terms of what I'm doing, because everyone wakes up and gets to a job. I wake up and go do consulting and all that, and sometimes people don't think that's a real job. They think you are unemployed, and sometimes that brought about of conflict in my head. It can make you second guess yourself. The other thing is, of course, hiring. hiring the right people to work with you is not an easy thing, because to get someone who can do what they're supposed to do, for example, if it's creating a website, to get the right person to do your website right is not easy. So hiring really is not an easy part. And then of course comes the capital. But in this case also the way you manage your finances is not an easy process. Because when you're a startup, sometimes people don't want to pay you. They want to take it like advice. But you're spending 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours advising and strategizing for them. So they pay you less when you are starting. But what I realized is once you brand yourself well with either good social media, with good website and good networks, then it starts working. It starts working. And also you have to conquer fear. I think the first time when you're starting, talking to people on the street about your idea is not an easy thing, but you get into it with time, practice.
You said you did public health. Right now you're an entrepreneur. Are you intending to pursue the public health in future, or what's your plan?
What happened is public health, sometimes it happens in a public university, or you can be called to do a course that you didn't think through. And sometimes at that age, you probably don't know what you want really in life. But as you go through the experiences of life in campus and life out after campus, you find yourself in another path. Most people do. So what happened is public health was good because it exposed me to all areas of issues in the society. In Kenya, I've been to hospitals, I've been to airports, I've been to different corporates trying to put a safety environment. So what that did is opened up my mind. Once my mind was opened up, I focused on my ideas. So, but going back to the career, I really don't see it anymore.
So what's your comment about education and entrepreneurship?
We need change. Yes, definitely. Change in education, in that it's important for people to go to study what they are passionate about and what they care about, because you progress more, you succeed more. They always say it's like a fish swimming in a river. If you're put in the right place you're supposed to be, you make more impact. You're more productive. So what our education system needs for sure is more innovation as well, to match to the needs of 21st century, which as we can see is a lot of technology change, is a lot of mind change. So I think we are yet to do that. But Matiang'i is doing a good job in trying to bring us to that side. Yes.
Achievements you've had so far as an entrepreneur?
I have been able to mentor over 1,000+ students in high school about entrepreneurship. So I used to do workshops. I would go to high schools.
High schools.
Yes.
Why are you targeting high schools? People may ask.
Definitely, because I don't want them to get to campus, choose their own career maybe, or after campus, that's when they're discovering who they are. So I realized starting it at that age, as I talk to them about academic performance, and then I talk to them about passion and entrepreneurship, makes more sense than talking to just campus students. Yes. So that's my greatest, because I see the value of mental change. And also, I love that I've been able to also consult for over 50+ startups. And because of that, I've been able to enable other young entrepreneurs earn their income, or connect to the right opportunity, or find their passion. That totally fulfills me. Yes.
Okay, thank you. And maybe if you can give a final word to now that you're passionate about the young also,
yes,
the final word as we wrap up the program.
Young people are quite talented. They have a gold mine they are sleeping on, if I may say, not to be taken in a bad way, but we are sitting on a gold mine. That's our minds. That's the resources of internet and technology that we have, that probably the generation of our parents never had luxury to have. But with all that resources, we are still seeing unemployment. So I would really, really want, number one, young people to get more interested in organizations that do deal with entrepreneurship and innovation, to search more on how to create a job, not just for themselves, but for other people, and to trust in their passion and their talent. Because as an artist, if you can make money as an artist, why do you need to work in a bank? You know, that's the question. Let someone else who's talented in finance and mathematical things to work in a bank. So let's not all crowd at one place looking for the same job when we are talented differently. So I'm looking out to having more people come down to Slum Code, which I still work in almost all the time, and come and ask, how can I go about my passion? How can I go about my business? So I'm really looking forward to large numbers of young people, but I'll still keep going out there and reaching them out and bringing them in.
They'll come.
Yes, yes. So yeah.
Fine. Thank you so much for
You're
being with
welcome.
us. We've come to the conclusion of our program. I've been your host, Lily Shivoko. Let's meet again next week. Bye-bye.